So you want to start collecting Funko Pops. Poor son of a bee. Hey, YouTube fellas and ladies. Welcome to the Jedi Night's Watch. My name is Graham.
My name is Rob.
And today we're going to be talking to those viewers that are looking to make the plunge and get into collecting Funko Pops. Rob, any words of advice right off the bat?
Slow and steady wins the race.
That's a good, I like that. That's very good. Obviously, there's a lot of you that have been collecting for a while and you're watching our show because that's what you like. But there's some people, especially that we know, that don't really maybe understand Funko Pops or haven't been enlightened about Funko Pops, even though they've been around for a long time. So this video is going to be kind of to maybe be a beginner's guide for those wanting to get into it, and maybe a refresher for those that already know about it, and maybe a little bit of insight about how we got started. What got you into Funko Pops? What grabbed you and made you excited about them?
I was at work. I worked for a bank with ATMs, and we had our own cubicles and all that stuff, and we ended up having like a one of those elephant Christmas things, whatever you call it. And for my gift, I got a Funko Pop. And I had seen him around before because I used to love reading a lot, and I would always see him in Barnes & Noble, but I never really got into him. Well, my first Pop was actually Leonardo. I almost said Leonardo DiCaprio, but Leonardo. A few months later, I went to a Hot Topic, and I just saw the wall full of Funko Pops, probably back in 2014, maybe 13, 14. And I was really into Game of Thrones at the time, and ended up getting Jamie, and it just escalated from there.
How many do you have about now, roughly?
I would say anywhere between 150 and 200. So not the biggest collection.
You're not one of those people that replaces your walls with Funko Pops and uses them as like support beams or anything? Like, you know how you see their whole like wall in your room, the whole way around is just Funko Pops from floor to ceiling?
Soon.
Soon.
No, but for some reason when you said that, I started thinking of like Funko Pop wallpaper.
There you go. That would be cool.
So cool.
I'll just show you my first Funko Pop ever was the White Walker from Game of Thrones. My wife actually picked this up for me. She was at a bookstore. We were really into Game of Thrones at the time too, still are, but and I just thought this guy looked so cool, and I'm like, maybe this isn't just some stupid thing for kids. Like, maybe adults can enjoy this as well. I think what really got me into it was seeing the variety of things out there to collect. I mean, they have a Funko Pop for almost everything: sports, movies, superheroes, television shows, anime, whatever you're into, they have it. And I think that's why it can reach so many people, because they make them for every sort of thing. So I started getting into them. I collected some Batman and mostly Game of Thrones, I guess, right off the bat.
Nice.
And that's kind of what got me into it too. Just the uniqueness that anybody can collect anything they want.
A lot of people don't really get this, but I'm pretty sure it's called Funko Pop, right? So it's pop culture. So that's the whole thing of Funko Pop. It's all these different pop cultures, whether it's video games, music, movies, TV shows, anything that you can think of, sports, so anything that's kind of popular. I know a lot of people, and I might be getting ahead of myself, but I know a lot of people have talked about, they're going to be like Beanie Babies, and they're going to die out and not be worth anything, and, all that. But you know what? Beanie Babies, you can only do so many stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Where Funko Pops, there's always a new movie, there's always a new thing, a new game, a new show, and people like to collect.
Everybody can be a collector. You don't have to go crazy, but everybody can be a collector because there's something for everybody. There's an interest for anybody out there. I don't know anybody that hates every sort of thing that they make a Funko Pop of, Like, even if you don't watch TV and you love sports, like, they still make those too. So
right.
There's something for everyone, and that's what's so cool. That was kind of a backstory about us and what we like about collecting and what got us into it. But let's get into kind of some guidelines that we would like to give you guys out there if you're starting to get into the hobby itself. I think first and foremost, Rob, because we just talked about how there are so many things to collect, it can be overwhelming. So you really have to pick what you want to collect. and go from there.
That's what's so scary is like, oh my gosh, they have RoboCop, they have Terminator, they have Disney, they have video, like they have all this stuff, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I only have a certain amount of money each paycheck, so you just got to be very careful and kind of just stick to one line.
Yep.
So, for example, they have 4 in the line. So finish one line at a time, unless you just like the one character, then go on to the next. But if you're like really big into Star Wars, and try to stick with Star Wars for a while.
Hone in on something and collect the set. If you're a big Batman fan, start collecting the Batmans. But something I did too was I didn't necessarily hone in on a certain one, but it was more of like what brought back my childhood memories. So I picked, I had one turtle, I had a Batman, I had the Crow, and stuff like that, and I kind of did it that way, and I think that's fine too. But you just got to be careful that you don't go crazy or get overwhelmed because there's so much out there. And that kind of brings us, I guess, to our next point is try to pace yourself, because it's really easy to get caught up in the Funko Pop madness. It can be cheap, so like $10 here, $10 there, but if you're going crazy, it can really add up.
Like when you're going crazy on eBay and you're like, oh wait, I had a bid on that one too. Whoops, I just spent $150.
Or you're like, it's only $25, and then a couple days later you're like, it's only $25, and then just kind of it keeps snowballing. So just make sure that you kind of set a budget.
With certain types of Funko Pops, like make sure you know what Funko Pops you're buying and when you're buying them, such as the Chase Pops. Chase Pops are really expensive at first. I believe a Chase is, correct me if I'm wrong, 1 in every 7 or 6.
I should have known that. I don't know. But it would be a variant of that common pop.
Yeah, but be careful with that, because they'll unless you find it in the store. If you go on eBay or something, it's going to cost you anywhere from $35 to $80 maybe, and come the following year it might drop down to $20. Unless you really, really, really love the figure and you need it right now in your collection, I understand that, but be aware that you can be patient and get it for cheaper later. So
and familiarize yourself with exclusives and what exclusives are. An exclusive is going to be a limited edition Funko Pop, usually at some sort of Comic-Con or special event, and they are going to be typically higher priced because they're harder to get, obviously. Yeah. And like Rob said, be patient, play the long game with some of them. Some of them you kind of have to just grab right away, and it's not always clear on what to do.
Yeah, you kind of have to have that feeling or know, hey, this is a big item because it is Avengers, and Avengers is really big right now. It's an exclusive, so in 2 years this might be worth a lot of money. Whereas, an item such as Coco might not be worth a lot in a couple years. It might just go up like a few bucks. You just have to have that feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
Familiarize yourself with the difference between not only just a common but an exclusive, but then the difference in stickers for the exclusives, a shared sticker and the event sticker. They look different. A shared sticker, or if they still are produced, like Barnes & Noble can sell it, or some other retailer is selling this exclusive. Yep. If it's a non-shared sticker, it's just for the event itself, and then it's going to be really limited. The Funko Pop itself is the exact same. You're really paying the extra price tag for a sticker. And some people have to have that sticker, but if you just want the pop, you can get the shared sticker for a cheaper value. And so we were kind of talking about money and kind of pacing yourself and whatnot, because you could get, the wallet could hurt, or you could get burned out, something like that. And then you might even wind up buying ones that you didn't really want, and now you're kind of stuck with them taking up space, and now you might have to try to sell it. But I think the next thing would be, you don't have to spend a lot of money to collect Funko Pops or to get cool Funko Pops. You can spend $10 to $15, get a unique and really cool looking Funko Pop. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And I do want to say one thing too. Unless you're that kind of collector, but if you're first starting out, don't go for the ones that are, hey, I think this one's going to be worth a lot later on down the road. No, just go with what you like. And if it's worth something in the future, great. If not, you have something that you enjoy and you're not going to want to sell it anyways. So just go with what you love. Don't go for the really expensive stuff unless you really love it, and just kind of play that.
And get them when they come out. If it's something you like, try just snatch it up right away, and pay the $12 for it instead of waiting, and then it goes up to $40-$50 in value. Now you got to pay that extra.
And speaking of coming out, like you just want to kind of keep track of what is coming out during the spring, the summer, the fall, and there's always a list. GameStop always has a list that you can actually pre-order the pop, so you don't have to worry about not getting it. And also you can always buy them online. There's lists online that come out and let you know kind of a rough estimate of when certain pops come out. So if you know when they come out, great. It's when you kind of go, oh, that came out 6 months ago. Now I got to spend double or triple or something like that. So
I think one of the best ways that I always find out what's coming out new as well is joining community groups like on Reddit, Instagram, following different channels too, and they'll just post what's coming out or different exclusives. Next thing that we want to talk about is deciding if you're going to be an in-box collector or an out-of-box collector, which would be an OOB, right? Now, this might sound like trivial or not really important, but it can be. You want to decide, is the box important to you? A, are you going to keep the box or are you going to throw the box out? And B, this will help you decide whether to buy online or in store, or maybe pass on certain Funko Pops because the boxes are dinged or damaged. I think you and I are a little bit of both.
Yeah. For me, it depends what pop it is.
Yes.
If it's an exclusive pop, I like to keep it in the box. If it's not, then there's like a 50-50 chance I'll take it out.
Well, I was just going to say, I think you and I always are willing to sell a Funko Pop if for some reason the value goes way up. So I think you and I are always going to look for the best box and maybe pass on one that has a corner crushed in.
Yep.
And that's not to say we'll keep it in the box, but just in case in the future things change, you want to pop a lot more now and you want to sell this one, you have that option.
Right. Even if you are an out-of-box collector, I would keep the boxes and keep them in a closet, keep them on the shelf next to the pop, just in a place where you can keep, because one day it might end up being worth something and you can put it back in the box and sell it. If especially in 5-10 years, if you're like, why do I have these Onward Pops? Like I'm 30 years old. Maybe one day something might click. Maybe you'll want to keep them forever. But in case that happens, you're like, man, it's worth like $85 now, and I got bills. So sometimes that might be good. So keep the boxes.
And you can be creative with how you store the boxes. Maybe you get just storage containers and you're just kind of throwing them in there. Or if you have shelves that you're putting all your pops on, what I do is I put all my empties behind them. Yeah. And then you really don't even see them. They don't take up too much space. It's those 10-inch ones. It's the Funko Pop rides that really take up space. And I've actually gotten to the point where there were, space is becoming a little bit limited. So I have decided to, Funko Pops that I really just wanted and didn't really care. I bought them on eBay out of box because I'm like, well, I get the pop at a discounted price and I don't have to worry about storing the box.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, I will save the box. I put protectors on all my boxes. We have kids. You just never know. Yeah. They walk by and they start pushing them in and stuff. So, yeah, if possible, keep the boxes because things change.
Yep.
The last thing on our list of things to remember, I guess, when starting up.
Important.
Yes, and the most important, while starting to collect Funko Pops, is to have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the hunt. Even if it's online, hunting online can be great too. If you're looking for the certain price, certain quality of box, and you're just kind of, waiting for that to come online, that can be fun too. It's fun to go into stores, see what you can find.
That's the funnest part. The second funnest is kind of putting them in, on a shelf, like behind, and kind of setting that up. But yeah, I love your setup. I mean, we've gotten praise from Funko Pops. Or from Funko, who actually said Graham's, display is amazing. So,
and you can mix Funko Pops with other collectibles as well, like NECA toys, hot toys, artifacts, different sizes, small and large. What I've been doing with my hot toys is having my 1/6 scale, and then I have that Funko Pop in front of them as well, and each one has their
Yeah.
Funko. So you can mix and match. It doesn't just have to be Funko Pops either.
If you have already started to collect and you are new, let us know, even if you're old at collecting and you're just wanting to get back into it, what is your first Funko Pop that you ever bought or received? Put that down in the comments down below. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell.
It was a lot of fun with you, Rob, and it's a lot of fun always hanging out with you guys. Hopefully this video helped you take the dive and become a Funko Pop collector, or a collector of any sort of collectible toy figure.
Yeah. And guys, if you made it this far to the end of our video, then please make sure to subscribe. I know I just said that, but we are doing a giveaway at 100 subscribers, and we're almost there. So if you haven't started collecting yet, this might be a good time to start collecting with a chance to win our giveaway.
All right, guys. Well, as always, this was a lot of fun, and until next time, we'll see you soon.